Pink Sweats. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, brother.
Hey, where are you at? I see, like, as I'm looking at you right now, it looks like a living room. I see a little bar set up. I see the kitchen back there. Kind of where are we at?
My crib. I'm in my living room.
We in LA? We somewhere else?
We in LA with it, man.
That's right, dude. Pink, tell me the story. I've heard the basics about how you got your name. You wear pink sweats, or you used to wear pink sweats everywhere you went, especially to the studio. Is that true, or what can you elaborate on?
Yeah. So I was wearing a specific pair of pink sweatpants just every single day for no reason. It wasn't conscious. It was just, I didn't feel like getting dressed up. I would just put on these pink sweatpants every single day. And then somebody was just like, yo, where's pink sweats? And then I locked that in. And then when I became an artist, I just ran with it because I thought it was like not too serious too. Like I don't take myself too serious,
Right.
Like happy-go-lucky kind of vibe. So I was like, pink sweats. Someone gave me that name. It was organic. And I was like, it would be a reach for me to try to choose another name.
When it happens, don't question it, man. Hey, if you don't wear pink sweats around, do you get recognized? Because I would imagine at this point, you put some pink sweats on, it is obvious who you are, correct?
Yeah, believe it or not, man, I thought that being pink sweats would be like a Superman thing. It's like when I put the glasses on, I'm Clark Kent. But it's not like that. Like, I'll literally have on all black at a movie theater, and someone's like, "Are you pink sweats?" I'm like, yeah, I guess.
That's interesting. I had a time. There was a time where I did this interview with. Do you know the guitarist Slash, the band Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. Yep.
He's known for the top hat. And I was doing this thing. I think he was doing a gig with the KIIS at the time, and he had to walk through a crowd to get to me. And he took his hat off, and he walked with his hat off right through the crowd, and nobody even blinked, but he put his hat on, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, that's Slash!" So I'm always curious when somebody has a thing, you take it off, do they recognize? Apparently, pink sweats. You're getting, maybe you're too pretty, Pink. That's what it is. What's the details? I'm told you're working on an album, obviously. Little progress report. How we doing? 70% done, 80%. You got nothing done. Where we at?
It's pretty much done. I just got the final masters like 2 days ago.
Oh wow!
So I'm finished. We're waiting to drop. I think we're looking at maybe something next month. We'll see. But,
what can you say? What can you say about it? Talk this thing up.
Man, I'll say this is definitely my biggest accomplishment because I set out to do something super intentional, and when I listen to the body of work back, it just feels like everything that's me, like it ranges from like pop leaning to like super soulful, like hit you in your chest vibe. So it's like that's me. Like I don't just listen to one kind of music. I'm all encompassing, and I feel like for me to create a full body of work after like only having an EP out with very little actual music, that for me to show my producing skills, my writing talents, just putting it all out there for people to be like, wow, okay, what we didn't know what to expect, because my EPs are just like super, super, super bare. So it's like people don't know what's coming. And it's like being in the studio, playing drums, playing bass, keyboards, and like that was an experience that I never had before. So
are you one of these guys that when you put a track out, like this is my thought, when I put something out, whether it's a countdown like this, or it's something I've recorded, I tend to think, man, I could have done this, or I should have done that, or I second guess things, or I nitpick it or overthink it. Are you one of those guys where, hey, the album's done, you got the master? Are you still thinking, God, I should have put this there and I should have changed that? Do the little things like that drive you nuts, or can you just move on?
Nah, it's like it drives me nuts, but I'm also on to the next kind of person. So it's like, okay, if it's in my control, if it's like, all right, can I change this real quick? Do we have time? Then I will. If it's not, then I kind of just ditch it and just think about the next thing. So it's like, okay, so the next time I do this, I'll make sure to look out for this or look out for that.
What are your fans like? Are they crazy? Are they relaxed? And I guess what I'm getting to is one of my favorite questions. Not that I'm calling your fans psycho. I'm sure they're beautiful. But I love psycho fan encounters where somebody goes a little extra. You know, do you have a good psycho fan encounter, and what are your fans, like? What do they like?
I feel like it's a wide range, It depends. Some cities are crazier than others, but for the most part, I would say overall, the thing that I love about my fans are we connect without always talking. Like, so I do connect with my fans on socials and texts and stuff, but like I feel like they get me. It's like I'm not an artist who's like always at the forefront of your life. Like I don't want to be that important. I want my music to be at the forefront of your life, not me myself. So I feel like they get that over time, me not overindulging in certain things, that they understand like, okay, this is the kind of artist he is. So we're gonna reciprocate that energy. Like even when I see my fans out, sometimes they won't even approach me. They'll just like DM me like, "Oh, I just saw you." So it's like only the crazy, usually like the fanatic ones they'll approach, but like a lot of the time I'll just get DMs like, "Oh my God, I just saw you," and it's like to me I appreciate it because like I'm like totally normal person. Like I like to just be chilling. I don't enjoy so much attention, even though I'm an artist. I just love music, and this is the way I express myself.
Well, one of these days when they end up hiding in your trash can to meet you outside the hotel room, yeah, let me know that. Pink, have you ever made a noticeable on-stage mistake? Everybody makes mistakes, I get that. But one where the crowd, even they were like, "Oh God, I don't think that was supposed to happen like that."
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I've forgotten full lyrics on stage, and like I'll just laugh. I'm like, because like it'll happen. I'm like in the vibe, and I'll forget the lyrics, and I'm like, dang, like just, and they'll just like giggle with me. But also, I like had a horrible voice crack before. It was pretty funny. It was like I was singing, and I was like, ah, like my voice cracked really bad, and then everybody was just like, oh, it just like got quiet. And then they were waiting for me to acknowledge it, and then they laughed. I was like, "Yo, that was horrible." And then everybody was laughing.
I bet it feels like crickets in the audience, like, "Oh God, what do I do now?"
What do I do?
You're trying to be all smooth up there, and you're squeaking. Oh man, Pink, you broke into music, to my understanding, as a demo vocalist, of course, doing a lot of writing, and then something changed where you said, "I think I want to be an artist as well." What was that moment? Walk me through that story, if there's a story there.
So I was writing songs for a bunch of people at a specific time, and I was here in LA working, and then I would come home or to the Airbnb, whatever, and I would just feel like I had more songs to write, like inside of me. So I would write these songs, super like, I guess, different than what I was doing for other people at the time. So I just had these songs, and then I started pitching the songs to people, and then we got a couple fights on them, but it was like they wanted to change the songs. And at that point, I realized that I had an attachment to these songs, which usually I don't. I don't have attachment to songs because I'm a songwriter. It's my job. So it would be like, yeah, I wrote the song for someone else, but for whatever reason, this felt personal. It was like, oh, let's change this, or let's add a beat to it. And I was just like, nah, like I don't have that vision. So then I just decided, like, why not just try to do it myself? Like, let me just put it out, see what happens. Because, social media, Spotify, all these things were just, they're there. And it's just like a lot of us writers as a community, we always, we sit around sometimes. We kind of get in a bummer about like some people don't want to do this kind of music. It's not cool, but it's like I thought that artists were the cool meters. Like we determined what was dope, and then people say, "Oh, I bang with him or I bang with her." So for me, I just wanted to test the theory. It was just like, cool. Like I want to write these kind of songs. That's how I feel. I want to put these kind. I don't want to do anything trendy. Let's see what happens. And people liked it, so I guess the rest is history from there. Because I can't redo it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I just know the songs. I loved them, and I hope that people would love them, and they did. So.
Were you surprised at the of the reaction that you got?
Oh, well, of course. Like I was so shocked. Like beyond shocked. It was like, what? Like people, like, because the whole time as a writer, if I was to pitch those songs to certain artists, it would be no way that they would release them, as they just would never make it, because it would be like, oh, this isn't cool, or it's not edgy, it's not. And me, I'm just like, but doesn't it make you feel something? It's like, yeah, but it does, So for me, it's like, that was my proof of concept. It was like, all right, cool. People do like love songs. People do like broken down music. Everything doesn't have to be super 808 in your face. Like that's good too, but it doesn't have to be everything.
Pink, I saw your you post a while back. You have like a little cooking show kind of a thing going on,
Yeah.
and the Fruity Pebbles toast, and especially the Doritos chicken.
Yeah.
Talk about this. I mean, do you do this a lot? And are you like that? Because that sounds so good. The Doritos chicken.
Oh, the Doritos chicken. It was when I made it. I really don't cook at all, so I'm just documenting my cooking journey, really. So it wasn't that great, but it had potential to be great.
Well,
I missed a lot of things. Like I didn't really season anything, and also I had the fire too high, so it kind of like it was just little things. But I didn't want to like fake it and act like I did it perfect. Because in the comments, a lot of times people said it's weird. It was like people were in the kitchen when I made it. It was like, yo, the fire's too high, or like you ain't season it, and I was like, I don't know that.
When you put the food in your mouth at the end of the video, I thought maybe I misread the look. I thought like you were going
no, it was
this
deep.
Is good,
It was amazing. It was like, oh, cool. But I feel like it had amazing potential. Like it could have been amazing.
All right, well, to be continued. Check
French toast
for all that stuff. What?
Insane. Fruity Pebbles French toast?
Yeah, how was that? I didn't see that video, but I saw you post about it.
That was a hit. Like everybody, I made the video already. I gotta post it, but I had my friends over and we all ate it. It was a smash. Everybody loved it.
I'll be looking out for that one for sure, man. 17. Let's do this track, man. Talk about it. What do people need to know about 17?
17 is the song of that I believe that is it's the song of our childhood. Like before you grow up, before you get your first heartbreak, or like you start watching cool movies, you was watching Disney. You know what I'm saying? Most of us. And I feel like for me, growing up, I always believed in love so strongly when I was a kid. And then it's like when I got older, I started being a little bit more like, that's not real kind of vibes. And then I hit like a point in my life where like maybe it is real. Like why do people get so negative about love and like this idea of like being with someone forever? It's like you want to be with the same person forever. It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Like you're not gonna switch and get new parents. You're not gonna switch and get new siblings. Like why can't you love someone forever? So I mean honestly, that song, like I said, I hope that it touches everyone's inner child, like that part of them that's open to the seemingly impossible in such a crazy world. It's like that seems so impossible to be like, yo, I'm gonna be with this person forever, but it is happening out here, and people are happy living their best lives.
Two-part question, man. What is the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And have you ever been booed? The complete opposite.
That's funny. The first one, biggest crowd, I think it was in Vegas. I can't remember the show, but I know it was in Vegas, and it's a big festival. And that was the biggest crowd. I can't recall. I hope they don't hate me. I'm sorry, I forgot.
A lot of people for sure, wherever it was.
It was Vegas. It was crazy. It was people as far as I could see. Like, I was just like, wow. And then I was hearing so many people singing my song back, and that made me feel really good. And I've never been booed.
Hopefully you won't. I've heard some crazy stories. It's usually, according to the stories I've heard, it's usually when you're opening for someone else and their crowd ain't as into you as you'd like them to be. It's like Calvin Harris told me he was on tour with Rihanna once, back when he first had that song with Rihanna out, and they were in France, and the crowd for some reason booed Calvin Harris like they're not doing that now. But
that's hilarious.
Isn't that nuts? All right, guys. Pink Sweats is hanging out. Don't boo him. True or false on this? Just maybe it's not true. I don't know. You were at one point debating on quitting music. Your bills were piling up. You know, it was just crazy. And then you did some gig. You wrote some song, and this is the part that gets me. What they paid you to write this song was the exact amount that you owed. Is that true, or is that just crazy talk?
That's true. 100% true. Both of those is true.
Walk me through those.
So the beginning part of just like feeling like, you just feel like, I feel like every creative, or just if you're doing anything, business, whatever, you just hit that wall sometimes and you just feel like, damn, like, what am I doing? Like, am I doing the right thing? Because it doesn't seem to be progressing at a rate where I can take care of myself. And I was sick. I was like sick. I have a rare disease called achalasia. So it was just feeling like, man, what am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, like I said, I'm sick. I have no money. I don't even want to go to the hospital because I'm like, yo, I don't want to leave my family any bills or anything like that. So at this point, my lights are literally about to get cut off. Like, I get a notice that, like, yo, they're gonna cut your lights off. And I'm like, dang, I'm stressed out. And me and my younger brother were staying together. And, you know, we kind of close in age, but when you're the older brother, it's like you're the older brother. You're kind of supposed to handle it. So right. I'm just like, cool, forget it. Like, don't worry about it. It's going to get handled. I don't know how, but I'm just trying to keep the situation calm. So I go to the studio that day. I'm there all day. And now, as soon as I'm leaving, the thoughts of these bills come back. Because all day, I'm at the studio. It's like a escape. I'm making music. I'm like kicking with my friends. So I'm going back home. I feel that weight of these bills. And then I'm walking out, and there's this guy, and I cannot remember his name. I hope he sees this interview someday and hits me up, but I can't remember his name. He had asked me to write on something and demo something for him, and I did. And nothing happened with it. But he ended up cutting me a check, which I can't remember how much it was. But he told me, he said, yo, see somebody named Cam. He said, see Cam. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. In my head, I'm like, whatever. So I'm about to leave again. And he's like, yo, bro, did you ever see Cam? And I'm like, no. He's like, hold on. So he goes gets this guy, Cam. And then they give me a check. And I was just like, I'm looking at it. And I just remember thinking, like, are you, like, tapped into my life? Like, because this is, like, exactly what I needed to handle all my bills. And that gave me, like, the reassurance, like, on some, like, spiritual stuff that it was like, all right, maybe I am in the right path. I'm just having a tough time right now. And that was, like, the universe showing me a sign that's, like, keep going.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're
and I got a couple, groceries after that.
I'm not sure if you're a spiritual guy or not, but that seemed like an angel dropping in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm a very spiritual person, man. I believe in that. And it was almost tear jerking because it was like, at the time, when you're like in those tough situations, all you want is for somebody to see your pain and help you. You know what I mean?
Once
And
again,
I
that is
didn't even ask. And they
that's crazy, dude. And to think it was the exact amount that you needed. I don't know if it was down to the cent or not, but you know,
no, it
that
wasn't
is
down to the cent. It was just like exactly what I needed to make it through that month because I had to pay all of those bills. And then I still had to eat, you know what I'm saying? So it was
right.
enough for me to go grocery shopping and pay those bills. So it was lit.
That's legit, man. Pink, what is the weirdest place you've been asked for a selfie? I know fans, you know, I've heard some wild stories.
The bathroom.
That's usually the worst place. I mean, how do you react? I mean, I guess general rule, wait till your favorite artist comes out of the bathroom is probably a pretty good idea. But walk me through some of those encounters because Jason Derulo told me one. Because yeah, he was in a, not to get all crazy, but he was in a stadium, and some of these stadium like sports venues have these big troughs in the men's room, you know, and a guy taps him on the shoulder in the middle of as he's handling business, you know, and he's thinking, oh my God, you know, I've heard of people sliding things to sign under stalls. What happened to you?
Woo, that is hilarious.
Can you imagine
Man,
that?
so it only happened twice. Once it was a guy. I was at an airport, and I think I was here in LAX actually. I was going somewhere on tour, and I was washing my hands, and he was just like, "Yo, pink sweats," and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Bro, we gotta take a picture or whatever," and then I don't recall him washing his hands. That's the crazy part. He reached out to shake my hand, and naturally, I just did it. But afterwards, I was like, I should go back in and wash my hands. And I also remember feeling like a little bit nervous because I was just like, if he's willing to do this, he must be a little bit off. Like, I would never go up to somebody in a bathroom and ask for a selfie or even shake someone's hand in the bathroom. That's so weird. But and then another one was a girl. I don't remember this venue, but the way the venue was set up, where I had to walk out was the women's bathroom was right here. So this is like my pathway, and the women's bathroom was here. And she walked out, and I guess they weren't expecting to see me there because I was about to perform. She's like, "Oh my God!" And she like pulls me in there, and she's like, you gotta be my boyfriend or something like that." And I was like,
So she pulls you into the ladies' room?
yeah, because it was like, this is the bathroom and this is here. So she just like, oh, she like hugged me pretty much into the bathroom. And I was just like, oh, and she was like tall, like, so I felt, it was nice, but it was bad because I'm like,
Oh my God. That is, yeah, a little much. Pink, I know right now you can't tour, but, for obvious reasons, but are you anxious? Are you pumped to at some point get on the road, start this new tour?
yes. I'm super antsy right now. I can't wait because I got all this new music, man. Like, I've been performing now at this point for like a year. So I was starting to just get a rhythm, you know, like when everything ended. And like I remember my first show was like 300 people. And I just remember being so not good. But everybody was just so in love with the music. And then show 2, show 3, show 4, show 5. And just like progressing it. Like sometimes I watch the footage and I'm just like, wow, like this is insane. And I'm imagining the next one, which I think was supposed to be Coachella, but it didn't happen. So it's kind of like, dang, like I want to see where I am as a performer, you know?
How do you think when touring resumes, how do you think it's going to be different? On meet and greets, maybe 5 years down the road, we'll be back to normal. Who knows? But in the near-ish future, I'm guessing meet and greets will either not happen or you'll be taking pics of people behind a mask. Or how do you think things will be different when it kicks back off?
I don't think it'll change. I feel like I think it will as a whole, but I feel like certain artists are just, so for the people, they'll just put themselves out there to, take those pictures and kiss the babies. Because it matters a lot. Like me, I even struggle with the idea of not doing certain things because it's like people spend their last dollars. They gotta do so much to even get to the concerts. Like you gotta get a babysitter if you got kids, or you gotta
Right.
borrow the money from your parents. You gotta hackle them for 2 months, let you go to the
Yeah, right.
show. Then you want to get some extra money so you can buy some merch, or it's so many things that go into like someone supporting an artist. For me, it's like I don't know if I could say no. Like that would probably have to be like people telling me like, yo, you can't do this, and we're not gonna even put it out there. Because I feel like I would still do it.
Fair enough, man. Pink, have you ever been mistaken for the wrong celebrity? Or mistaken for yourself, if you know what I mean. Like, hey, you look a lot like that Pink Sweats dude. Have either of those
Yeah, I've
ever
gotten
happened?
that. I've gotten that. Nobody's ever actually mistaken me for someone else, but I have been like, oh my god, you look just like Pink Sweats. I've heard that before.
When they do that, what do you do? Do you say, nope, it's not me? Or do you
I'm
just say,
like,
yep?
no. I'm like, nah. But usually when I say nah, they'll know. They're like, no, it is you. Yeah, it's definitely you. And I'm like, yeah, it's you.
Like, nah, never heard of that guy. Is he good? I bet he's good looking. I don't know. Pink, I'm told you were raised in a religious family. You weren't really exposed to mainstream music till you were in your teens. I don't know the exact age, but I'm assuming once you jumped into this world, especially at this point, your family, they must be just, yeah. I assume the family is loving what you're doing, or was there ever any pushback on when you jumped into this world?
It was a little bit of pushback, but not like super hard. I feel like by the time I got to be a teenager, I was just like doing my thing. My parents was like religious, but it was also just like creating boundaries in their house. Like, which for me it was like I hated it then, but it's like it motivated me to like leave. Like I was like, any place is better than here. Like I'll sleep on the floor. But like as an adult now, it's just like they don't really care. They're happy that I'm successful, that I'm providing for myself. I'm able to do the things I want to do. So yeah, they're not tripping. My parents came to a show before. Only person I haven't got to come to a show is my grandma.
What,
So
what's it going to take?
I don't know. We talk to her about it all the time, but we wearing on her because she's just like, I can't do it. I don't know. It's like Jesus. I'm like, yo, Jesus don't care if you go to a show.
I assume she's heard the music and likes it, right?
Yeah, she's heard my cousins. They play her some of my music, and she's like, I really like this song right here. So yeah, she's heard it, but I think just the idea of like a gathering of music that's not Christian music, she's just like, it's so sinful that.
I bet when it does happen, she's going to be the loudest one in the whole place for sure. You know, she's going to be Pink Sweats fan number one.
We're gonna have cameras on her and everything. We're gonna need proof.
Oh man, for sure. Pink, last couple of weeks, months, been real eye-opening for all of us, myself certainly, on the I guess the quest for equality and justice and the demonstrations and whatnot. What's your take on that? What's your point of view? What do people need to know from Pink Sweats?
I think that people need to know that the fight that is happening right now is one that's been happening for a long time, but we are at the perfect time in history that we've never seen, where the whole world is frozen. So people have to pay attention. So it's like sharing the ultimate goal daily is so much more effective because for a lot of us, any other time than a pandemic, we're back to our regular lives. Like you see things, it's kind of like, okay, this is happening. You'll interact for a short period of time and then you disperse back to your regular lives. And I feel like right now, it's concentrated. All this energy is concentrated because the world is literally at a halt. You know, people are tired of being mistreated, and I feel like it's time for a change. And I think that historically, this will be a moment like no other for so many. It's like so many events have happened leading up to these protests and riots that it sucks. It really sucks, and it's scary to think that they would, the government would issue the National Guard before just dealing with the issues at hand. It's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people versus a select few. Like put them to trial and say, hey, listen, this is what you did. Why you did it? We can do a CNN special maybe, but you're going to jail. Like this needs to. I just think that needs to be more a part of the culture. Just reprimanding the people who do bad things with those badges.
100%. I hope that this is the beginning of real change and not just a bunch of talk, which I've heard, you know, who am I to say anything, but I've heard people that I believe in say that they feel that it's something different happening now. Barack Obama said that, for example. He said he thinks this feels different than a lot of the protests in the past. And I hope he's right. So trying to do my part, you know, I'm asking myself, how do I be part of the solution and not just, hey, it's another story. So that's something I'm learning as well. So appreciate you, Pink Sweats. Thanks for a quick comment on that. Quick recap. 17 is out. Debut album it's not in progress. It's done. Just a matter of finding the right release date and this and that. Let me see. What else am I forgetting? Doritos chicken didn't turn out as good as I thought on your Instagram story, but the Fruity Pebbles chicken is good. Grandma hadn't been to a show yet, but she, you know what? I bet by the end of 2021, she's going to be at a show, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
What am I forgetting, Pink Sweats? Anything else people need to know?
They need to know that Pink Planet is the name of my album and that it will infatuate your soul. You'll be addicted to it. You're going to be like, I need to hear this.
He just dropped something. Oh, God. Hope everything's cool. Hey, Pink Sweat, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. At the end of every countdown, I used to do a fist bump to make it official, but let's do a virtual fist bump. Bam! Hit that cam. There it is.